As a creative person, I face multiple challenges throughout life. I have problems with organizing my life and work, with mental well-being and motivation. Welcome to my art podcast, where I draw something nice and reflect the life of creatives, and actually not only creatives, looking for solutions to problems or just chatting. Today I want to talk about how to clean up your life, or as I can name it, in other words, how to get your life and head in order. And this problem applies to all the people in general. The first thing to clean up your life is understanding where the clutter comes from, right? I can see that disorder can be both inside and outside a person. So let's explore disorder on the inside. I think many of you have experienced a sense of overwhelm when there are numerous things to do. You don't know what to do first, your head is a total chaos. You don't want to do anything and you're really tired of it. So the whole day may pass and you do nothing, but at the same time you're exhausted and depressed. Maybe when you go to bed, you will think that you don't want to wake up tomorrow, because you know that all this will happen again. And you have no faith in the good tomorrow, and so on. So what's the problem here? I think the matter is in the lack of organization of things and thoughts. Without ordering of the inner world, we don't feel control over our lives. This means not feeling strength, energy, and confidence to act. The first thing I would start with is making a list. Write out absolutely everything you have to do, from the smallest to the largest. Divide the sheet into two parts. The left side is what I want to do, and the right side is what I have to do. What I have to do is either things that I'm neutral about, like throwing out the trash or buying some bread, or things that I don't want to do, but no one but me will do it, like cooking for the whole family, for example. And what I want to do side are any activities that bring up such kind of warm feeling in the soul. Don't be frightened if you can't write anything in the what I want column at first, because a lack of desire for something pleasant or a lack of pleasure from something that used to make you happy is a sign of stress and emotional tiredness. That's why we started writing this list, so that things will gradually get better and better. What's important when using this list practice? Give yourself 2 or 3 days to fill out the list. Keep it on hand, because you won't remember everything you want or need to do at once, but your mind will gradually remember more and more things. It's important to write out absolutely everything, even the smallest things, like removing a dirty cup from your nightstand, and the biggest things like repainting the walls in the house. Next, it's important to start acting. Go through the list and cross off the irrelevant tasks. I'm sure that you will find some kind of those irrelevant tasks in your list. Then choose the easiest and quickest things to do. It's important to check off what you've done with a check mark. These marks bring a sense of relief and a boost of energy. Over time, you may want to move some things from the right side, which is I need to do, to the left side, which is I want to do. From now on, it's not an impossible task for you, but your own will. Spend 2 or 3 days writing your list, and a week doing things that can be done in a week. Then rewrite the list again, and probably you'll see that the I want column is much longer now, and the I should column is shorter. I think it's worth practicing this list technique every time procrastination or feelings of moral tiredness arise. Or maybe try it as a monthly practice, so that you have a chance to clean up your head in time, because this is the house that we can't move out of. So we have dealt with some stuff, but there are still a lot of disturbing thoughts and feelings that can overwhelm us, right? The quality of the information that comes in determines the quality of a person's thoughts, judgments, and attitudes, and so on. So if you constantly consume mental fast food, communicate with toxic people, and listen to someone else's low-quality statements, you shouldn't expect to have a high quality and valuable ideas. Have you ever thought that any information that we pay attention to turns into such voices in our heads? Here I would start with getting my digital field in order, because that's where 95% of the information comes to me. Revise the Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or whatever social media, and turn off notifications from those apps in your phone settings. Also send all unnecessary emails to spam. Clean your computer and phone from excess files. Transfer everything you need to the cloud or HDD. Put a fresh, inspiring, and aesthetically pleasing picture on the wallpaper, of course. There are so much things to do, and maybe you shouldn't rush yourself, but try to make it gradually, step by step. What else? It's worth trying to get rid of background noise for a couple of days at least. And what do I mean by background noise? It could be some serious or scrolling in social media again. Basically when you do anything just to avoid concentrating on your business, on dealing with your problems. And I thought of having a weekend like this, just walking around the city, breathing in the fall air, looking at people, getting my nose under the receding sun, and thinking about what I like and what else I want to do. And of course, be sure to write it down. I've noticed that in moments of bad moods and lack of motivation, I still trust that happy self who wanted something and planned to do something. And I find such plans really valuable, and even if I have a period of bad moods, I will still continue to follow that chosen path. So this all were said about getting in order from the inside, but what about outside? Have you ever noticed that the space around us affects our thoughts? The cleaner and nicer the surrounding space, the clearer our minds are. Every day before I start work, I always go around the flat to clean up any mere mess and create a comfortable space for myself, so that I can focus on work stuff and avoid thinking that everything around me is freaking me out. Personally, this point is easier for me because I can see with my eyes and touch things with my own hands in my house that are disturbing, whereas thoughts and feelings can be more difficult to deal with. It would be nice to get rid of things that are no longer used and not useful. After all, the more things we have, the more responsibility, because these things need to be taken care of, repaired in time, washed, cleaned, and so on. It seems to me that the theme of reviewing things in the house as such is global as the theme of finding order in your duties, desires, and thoughts. And I'm afraid that now I can't cover this subject as detailed as I want, because we have talked about the internal order long enough. But personally for me, it's important not to bring things into the house that I'm not sure of, and not to buy without thinking, and not to take things that are given away if I'm not sure that we need and like it. It will also be easier to deal with the stuff if you live alone, but if the family consists of more than one person, then there will be a lot more things, and other people may have a different opinion that you have to negotiate and discuss. I think the solution would still be the same. Revise every couple of months in every room separately. Or, for example, to choose a particular category of things, such as clothes, or all books and so on. And start, of course, with the things that bother you the most. I want to know, how do you get your life in order? It's always interesting to share experiences, so please write in the comments if you'd like to. And of course, these are only things that we can influence and at least somehow put our lives in order. But sometimes life makes adjustments to our plans or completely throws us off the track. It may be difficult in the moment, but in the end it turns out that it was for the best. And sometimes you just have to get over it and slowly move on with no rush at all. Until the next podcast. Bye.